Tyler Perry, beware. Meghan kicked Harry's ass after burning all his money in LA. Well, a US source has revealed that Meghan is not very happy with the way things have turned out in California for her. Well, she's a narcissist, and she is going to blame everybody around her instead of coming to understand that she and she alone is the cause of her misery. And apparently Harry is running out of money. Neither Harry's book nor the Netflix docuseries had the effect on the royal family that Meghan was hoping it would. They also did not make the money that she is so desperate for. She wanted to see the royal family taken down a peg or two to a level where they would be begging Meghan and Harry to come back and be royals again. And unfortunately for her, that didn't happen. The insider exclaims, "I think Meghan didn't realize how popular they were and the public would see them as attacking, which they weren't, their royal family and come to their support. Meghan is slowly losing her ability to live in the lifestyle she wants to maintain. When the money stops, Meghan will leave for greener pastures." Unfortunately, as a former and now aging Z-list actress, Meghan's options are going to be fewer and fewer if she starts to seriously look for greener pastures. And speaking of acting, well, if I understand it correctly, Meghan let it be known that she is available for an important film role directed by an important Hollywood director. So far, though, the number of inquiries received by the actress are zero. And anybody who is surprised, please raise your hand. Please? Oh, I don't see any hands. Somebody, anybody? Give it a few years and Meghan is going to get roles as somebody's middle-aged mother instead of the vixen that she imagines herself to be. Not only that, but the bigger problem is that Meghan Markle cannot act. And another source has confirmed that Meghan is keeping a close eye on Tyler Perry. Of course, he was the one who helped them get a makeshift home in his mansion. The friend said Meghan will use her relationship with Oprah to approach Tyler Perry again. She has experience in dealing with men and fascinates them anyway. And this is where she believes she can impress Tyler Perry, and he's going to make her a star. That also explains why, even though she doesn't really know him, Meghan asked him to be the godfather of her child. But I'm pretty sure Tyler Perry is way too smart to be taken by Meghan Markle. The fact is, I do not believe that we need to be worried about him in the least. I mean, he's done right by Meghan and Harry, and they just insulted him for all his efforts. Tyler Perry is really pretty brilliant, and he has done so well for himself. He is not about to let the two of them drag him down. I'm guessing he has met more than enough people like them in his time in La La Land, and he's not going to be fooled. Come to think of it, why would any other man out there be interested in Meghan Markle? She doesn't have any talent, she's a backstabber, she's a conniving witch. There is no man in this world that could possibly make her happy. Meghan would always find something wrong with them. Now maybe flattery works in the beginning, but that eventually is going to fade. Meghan is such a nasty piece of work. And I'm not sure that Harry would even dare to leave her. He can't really afford to at this point. And I don't think the royal family is going to pay her off. Let's remember, there supposedly are 2 children involved in this alleged marriage. If they really exist, I can't help but wonder what damage has already been done to them by their alleged mother. Once a child is so messed up in the head, there's really no way to fix it. Legally speaking, the only settlement that Meghan could expect and demand is a settlement from Harry. His family, I don't care how much money they have, has no legal obligation whatsoever to pay Meghan a dime. So if Harry is broke, well, she's not going to be getting much at all. I think her big plan is going to blow up in her face. She made the mistake of thinking that Harry was a billionaire. But the fact of the matter is, except for military income and royal duties fees, he really didn't earn money all on his own. Now, the monarchy is incredibly wealthy, but not for all members. Instead, they get paid for duties and they get paid a royal pension, just like any other normal pension. A real misconception about these Playboy royals is that they are all loaded. And that's not to say that the working royals do not earn their keep. They certainly do. They have to work hard. But even the hardest working members of the royal family are hardly billionaires. I mean, they own land, they own property, and that is where most of their wealth lies. But extended royal family members, even though they're still plenty wealthy, are not billionaires, unless, of course, they marry into it. So, girls, it's important to remember, do not rely on a prince to make you rich. As far as I can see, Meghan spent her entire life trying to be a somebody. She cannot stand the fact that she's biracial, and she tried to portray herself as a white woman when it suited her. And now she claims that she is biracial because it suits her agenda. Meghan has spent her whole life aspiring to a higher level on the social ladder. She cannot accept the fact that she's just an ordinary middle-class girl, a run-of-the-mill wannabe. In the past, Meghan tried her best to be a high-class courtesan to Middle Eastern wealthy people, hoping to snag herself a rich husband, but they saw right through her. They thought that she was basically just a prostitute. So she decided to cast her net a bit wider, and she openly admitted that she dreamed of marrying an Englishman, and she was lucky enough to be able to maneuver herself into Harry's circle. And Harry, because he's pretty dim, he never stood a chance against her. She's incredibly manipulative, and when she wants to be, she can be very charming. And Meghan only saw dollar signs and a life of luxury for doing absolutely nothing. Well, honey, that's not the way that it works. There is no such thing as a free ride. And Harry, I mean, is he blind or is he just an idiot? William saw what was going on, and Her Late Majesty the Queen saw it too. King Charles can clearly see it as well. And surely it has to have occurred to Harry by now that his life has only become such a disaster since Meghan entered it. I mean, is he so blinded by lust and so brainwashed by this bimbo that he cannot see what is right in front of him? I just cannot believe how he could turn his back on his family, as well as hundreds of years of history, for somebody like Meghan Markle, for somebody for whom lying is really a way of life. Because this is Meghan's MO. When she's gotten all she can from a relationship, when she has bled them dry, she drops them and then moves on. Meghan has cut ties with everybody in her family except for her mother Doria. She dropped basically all of her friends from before Harry, and she convinced Harry to do the same. And she's gotten this agency now to represent only her and Archewell. Meghan did not attend the coronation. She could have easily gone with Harry. And she refused to kiss him on the kiss cam at that basketball game, when before she never had a problem kissing him and pawing at him in public. So yeah, I think both of them deserve everything that is coming their way, married or not. Let's just see them with those smirks on their faces when they have nothing but shame to keep them afloat, and help them remember the disgrace of attacking the late Queen, who was Harry's grandmother. I will never forget or forgive that. The horrible things they said, the horrible things they accused the family of, I mean everything that his grandmother had stood for 70-something years. How disgusting. And it's absurd that now they still have the audacity to continue their attacks, and they're trying to pressure all kinds of people at every turn for what they believe they deserve. The reality is they don't deserve a thing. Let's not even talk about what goes through their heads. I think I would be too disgusted. I might throw up. They are completely lacking in humanity. They don't understand what human kindness is all about. So anything that is coming to them, they absolutely deserve it. They just apparently didn't get the memo yet. And about the invisible children, well, I believe that they're fake, and Meghan's going to use them as a source of money. Child support is going to be big. And if they can prove that the kids are real, the royal family might want them to be educated in England, in which case Meghan is going to agree as long as she gets reimbursed by the king. And I am sure that, again, if the children are real, he would do it for them. Meghan is going to play it to the public as her choice and her sacrifice, because, of course, it always has to be all about her. Since she supposedly had those kids, she has got Harry well and truly hooked, and that's going to ensure her future money, just as surely as her part-time mother has her life insured by Harry's money too. Now, her father was the one who raised her. He paid for all the things she did in college and her expensive education too, and what happened to him? Well, she threw him away. And the same is going to happen to Harry, who's not going to have any money in the end, but I'm sure King Charles is not going to let his grandchildren be without, and Meghan realizes that. She is such an evil, insidious woman. And you, do you agree with me? Please continue to discuss her with us below in the comments section. Remember to like and share my video with your friends and relatives who need it too, anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.